Welcome to my channel. Let's take a journey back to the year 2017. The U.S. Mint was deep into its America the Beautiful Quarters program, a multi-year series that aimed to honor national parks and historic sites in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and U.S. territories. It was one of the largest coin programs in U.S. history, and collectors were watching every release with anticipation. Among these, the Ellis Island Quarter, part of the New Jersey release, was just one of 5 new coins minted that year. On the surface, it looked like just another quarter. But then something changed. Before we get into what makes this coin so rare and valuable, we need to understand why Ellis Island was chosen, and the significance it holds in American memory. Located in New York Harbor, in the shadow of the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island was the nation's busiest immigration inspection station from 1892 until 1954. It was here that families held hands tightly, children cried in confusion, and hopes for a better life either took flight, or came to a halt. The site represents both the struggle and the dream, the hardship and the hope that built America. It's more than just a landmark, it's a cornerstone of identity for millions of Americans today. This poignant image was designed by artist Barbara Fox and sculpted by Phoebe Hemphill. The emotional depth packed into this tiny space is impressive. The Statue of Liberty looms proudly in the distance, while the family's faces reflect both awe and uncertainty. It's a masterclass in symbolism. You might be wondering, how can a common mint mark make a coin rare? Well, here's where things get interesting. In 2017, Ellis Island quarters were produced at all 3 major mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But the quantities varied dramatically. The Denver Mint, marked with the D, had lower production numbers than Philadelphia. But beyond that, a small number of the Denver minted quarters were struck with unique characteristics, slight die variations, minting flaws, and finish errors that made them stand out from the rest. These unintentional quirks can make all the difference in coin collecting. Several 2017 Ellis Island Denver minted quarters began appearing on the market graded MS-66 and even MS-67. These are exceptional scores for a circulating coin. And as the number of high-grade examples remained low, demand surged. By 2024, collectors were consistently paying over $100 for Ellis Island quarters with the D mint mark, especially those with clear die varieties and near-flawless finishes. In some auction listings, verified MS-67 coins sold for upwards of $157, sometimes more depending on their individual characteristics. Think about that for a second. A 25-cent coin, barely 8 years old, worth more than a fancy dinner or even a brand new pair of sneakers. All because of where and how it was made, and how well it was preserved, but it isn't just about money. That's the magic of coins like this. Every rare quarter tells a story, and in this case, it's a story about immigration, identity, American values, and hidden value in the most ordinary places. What's more exciting is that this coin might still be in circulation. That's right. It could be hiding in your change jar, your car's cup holder, or stuck between your couch cushions. That's what makes modern coin collecting so thrilling, the possibility of treasure in plain sight. Now let's talk about what to look for. First, the mint mark. Look for a small D under, "In God We Trust." That's your Denver clue. Second, examine the condition. Is the coin shiny? Scratch-free? Little wear on Washington's cheek or the immigrant family's details on the reverse? If so, you might have a high-grade piece. Third, look for anomalies. Is there any doubling on the lettering, especially in E pluribus unum or the date? Any unusual bumps or lines? These could be die cracks or other minting quirks that boost value, but here's what makes this coin even more special: its emotional value. It's a coin that tells a real story. Not of kings and conquests, but of families, tired, determined, and hopeful, stepping into a new life. It reminds us that America isn't just built by laws and leaders, but by ordinary people with extraordinary courage. And that makes the Ellis Island quarter more than just a piece of metal. It makes it a time capsule. A reminder of where we came from, and what we strive to be. And now, here's the moment you've been waiting for, drumroll, please. In today's collector market, a pristine, high-grade 2017 Ellis Island quarter with the Roosevelt D mint mark, verified and certified by PCGS or NGC, can fetch up to $157. That's 628 times its face value. Not bad for a coin you might find in your wallet right now. So next time you get change at the grocery store, or dig around the bottom of your purse, take a moment. Flip those quarters over. Look for that immigrant family, that Statue of Liberty, and most importantly, that small, powerful D. Because you never know, you might just be holding history. You might be holding a rare treasure, and you might be holding $157 in your hand. Today's video is not just about a coin, it's about a story of a small piece of metal that carries the legacy of a state, the vision of a nation, and the curiosity of collectors across the world. Buckle in, because we're diving deep into the remarkable tale of the 2000 Maryland quarter dollar, proudly bearing the Roosevelt mint mark, P, and why this coin, yes, this simple quarter, has managed to fetch a surprising value of $201. Let's begin not with the coin itself, but with the spirit behind it. Picture this, it's the late 1990s. The United States Mint has launched one of its most ambitious and creative programs, the 50-State Quarters program. The idea? Each state gets a chance to be immortalized in coin form, representing their unique history, values, and symbols. The program kicked off in 1999 and quickly captivated Americans. Collectors, casual and serious alike, started looking at their change with fresh eyes. Suddenly, a quarter wasn't just a quarter, it was a collectible, a story, a piece of art. Fast forward to the year 2000. It's a new millennium, a new century, and for 5 lucky states, a chance to be celebrated in silver and copper. Among them was Maryland, the 7th state to join the Union, and the 3rd coin released in the 2000 State Quarter series. Now, at first glance, the Maryland State Quarter might not seem extraordinary. After all, it shares the same 25-cent value and size as any other quarter in your pocket. But look closer, and you'll see layers of symbolism, design, history, and a few secrets that make this coin truly stand out. Let's look at the obverse side first. That's the side most of us are familiar with, the one bearing the profile of George Washington. Designed by John Flanagan in 1932 and slightly modified for the state quarters, Washington's face is steady, noble, timeless. Around him are the words, United States of America, Liberty, In God We Trust, and of course, the denomination, quarter dollar. But for the Maryland quarter minted in Philadelphia, there's a tiny detail that collectors know to look for, the mint mark, P, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. That single letter tells us that the coin came from the historic Philadelphia Mint, the oldest of all U.S. mints, and it makes a world of difference for enthusiasts. Above the dome, engraved with dignified simplicity, is the word Maryland, and below it, the date 1788, the year Maryland ratified the U.S. Constitution and officially became the 7th state. And at the very bottom of the coin is a proud title, the Old Line State, Maryland's nickname, believed to have been given by George Washington himself in honor of the Maryland Line troops, whose bravery during the Revolutionary War became legendary. Enter the world of numismatics, the study or collection of currency, including coins. In this world, small things matter, a die crack here, a double stamp there, or a slight off-center strike can make the difference between a 25-cent coin and a collector's dream. The 2000 Maryland quarter has a few such varieties that have driven up its value, particularly those with die breaks or double dies. But even without these quirks, pristine specimens, especially those with high mint state grades, MS-67, MS-68 or above, can command serious attention. One of the main reasons for this is condition. Coins fresh from the mint and never circulated are known as uncirculated or mint state, and they're graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin that scores MS-67 or higher is exceedingly rare for such mass-produced coins because it requires the coin to be nearly flawless, no scratches, dings, or discoloration. These coins are typically found in collector rolls, mint sets, or rarely, in forgotten drawers where they've been preserved since 2000. Now, let's talk about where things get really interesting: the value. In general circulation, yes, the 2000 Maryland quarter with the P mint mark is still worth just 25 cents. But in the world of grading and auctions, we're seeing something very different. Pristine, uncirculated coins have gone under the hammer for surprising amounts. One particular example of the Maryland quarter, graded MS-68 and verified by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, fetched an astonishing $201 in a private auction. That's right. $201. For a single quarter. So, the next time you get a quarter in your change, take a second to look at it. Really look. Is it a Maryland 2000 quarter? Is it in unusually good shape? Does it bear that tiny P for Philadelphia? Because who knows, you might just be holding something worth far more than you think, and maybe, just maybe, that quarter could be your lucky find, your $201 surprise. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey through coin history, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss an episode. Drop a comment below if you've ever come across a Maryland quarter, or if you're going to start checking your change a little more closely now. Until next time, keep collecting, stay curious, and remember, every coin has a story.